I'm Sam Cox, otherwise known as Mr. Doodle, and I'm a doodler from Kent in England. To me, doodling is all about creating art without too much of a meaning. A lot of art is like people are trying to say things, say messages, and like maybe it's political stuff or personal things to them. But to me, doodling is about being free to not have to do that and just create things that feel natural, organic, and just happy and make you feel good to create. You don't have to worry too much about what it looks like or where it's going or what it says. You just indulge yourself in the pure joy of creating, and that's what doodling is to me. When I was younger, I was mostly inspired by cartoons I'd watch on television or video games like Mario or Crash Bandicoot and stuff. Those ideas and those things I saw on the screen really inspired the sort of things that I was drawing. And nowadays my inspiration comes more from, still from those sort of things, but also from street art and graffiti and anything sort of that catches my eye and sort of makes me want to draw. But I really just sort of force myself to create things. So I don't usually seek out inspiration, I just kind of create what feels natural and just channel whatever kind of energy I have at the time. I really knew that I was obsessed with doodling and drawing and creating this sort of style of work that I do now. And I knew that I just wanted to dedicate everything, like all my life as much as I could, to channeling all this energy into this one thing that I really loved. I loved drawing all over my bedroom walls, on my parents' furniture, and I just let my life become sort of based around it, and I was really obsessed with it. And it's just continued since then, that growing obsession and allowing the doodles to take over all sorts of different surfaces and stuff. And I really loved jumping into these imaginary worlds and fully indulging within those spaces. And yeah, I guess when I started doodling and really got more into it, I realised that I could create a whole universe that was fully my own with all these characters that I created myself, and that really just drove me to just keep going and live within that universe, I guess. When I wake up in the morning, I always feel happy and I always feel ready to draw and to work on something, and I could just sit there and work for like 16 hours and then go back to sleep and just spend all my time doing it. If I could, I would do that all the time. And it's just the fact that there just seems to be an endless potential for doodling on anything and everything and in so many different formats and mediums that it could really just last like my lifetime and way beyond that as well. So there's just so much to doodle. That's what makes me feel happy, is that it just feels like the happiness will never run out from working. And I love to work and I love to draw, and it just really brings me a lot of joy. It would be nice if it makes people happy, because it makes me so happy to see a piece at the end when it's done and look at all the smiling faces, and it brings me joy. And I especially love it when like a little kid walks past or something and points at it and gets a big smile on their face, and that's really cool to me. I hope it sort of makes the world a slightly happier place with doodles. They're not sort of upsetting, or they're not meant to be sad or political or meant to anger anyone. They're just there to be fun little things. Hopefully people eventually one day will see doodling as less of like a throwaway low form of art and really accept it as a proper genre of artwork that people can actually take more seriously than they do today. And then hopefully more like youngsters and other people will be able to work with doodling and do what feels natural and fun to them, and they'll actually be able to make a living off of it and have their work accepted in galleries and museums and things. But ultimately, the main thing I'm trying to do is just make myself happy through doodling, and it brings me a lot of joy, and hopefully it brings other people joy too.